Hello, my name's Nathan, and today's devotion is about the wilderness. A lot of times when we think about the wilderness, we think about Moses and the Israelites and how they wandered. A lot of times, though, the wilderness in our lives we could be around friends, family, and whatever, and still be in the wilderness. One of the things, when I was growing up, I grew up in a rural setting, and I used to walk to this lake. And I thought it was so far away. I thought, man, this thing's got to be 10 miles away. In reality, when I looked at it on Google last night, it is only about 2,000 to 3,000 feet away. And sometimes I'd wander in that woods for hours trying to find that lake. Had I just followed the paths that the cows had made straight to that lake, I would have been fine. And we see that in God's Word a lot of times, the people that we see in the wildernesses in their lives. And one that I'd like to highlight today is Jonah. And Jonah, he was commanded to go do something, and he decided he was not going to do that, and he was disobedient to God. And for that, he wandered in a wilderness for quite a while, and he eventually ended up in the wilderness in the belly of a whale for 3 days and 3 nights. Can you imagine that, being in total darkness, seclusion? Probably couldn't hear anything but the fish itself. Wondering where you're going, what you're going to do, completely dazed, confused, and lost. Well, Jonah, as he went on, he was there, and finally he was vomited up onto the beach. Wow, what a time, huh? Being puked up on the beach by a big old fish. One thing that I can tell you here is that in Ephesians, it says in Ephesians 2:10, it reminds us that God has a plan for us. And if we would just follow that plan, it may not always be to our likings, it may not always be easy and comfortable, but God says He has a plan for us, and He knows that plan. And back to Jonah, Jonah finally realizes that he needs help. And in Jonah 2:2 he says, "In my distress I called to the Lord, and He answered me. From the depths of the grave I called for help, and You listened to my cry." Jonah says in the depths of his grave, in his deepest, darkest days, in his worst times, he called to God, and God delivered him from that. And God's deliverance was that he had to go talk to the Ninevites. He was puked up on land. It wasn't pretty for him, but God was there to help him through. And I just want to encourage you that if you're in the deepest, darkest days of your life, in the wilderness, and you wandered for you don't know how long, even if you're surrounded by friends, family, this church, someone is there. God has placed someone in your life for you. God is there for you. And I encourage you today to just go a little bit deeper into Jonah if you need to. Make sure that if you need something, come and ask somebody at this church. We are always willing to help you. Thank you.